All right, listener, ready to dive in? We're tackling Australian university lectureships today.
Ooh, exciting stuff. Shaping young minds, cutting-edge research,
You got it. And maybe even,
that corner office.
exactly. Our listener's ambitious, so we're skipping the hype, giving the real deal.
Straight talk.
We're dissecting an article. It's by Jared Kanize called,
Become a university lecturer in Australia.
that's the one, Earn $115 K, it says.
Catchy title.
Oh, definitely clickbait, but we'll see what's what.
Stacked from fiction.
So this article, it lays out 6 steps to lectureship,
Okay, a roadmap.
starting with, no surprise, a bachelor's degree.
The foundation.
But then it gets interesting. Master's, maybe even PhD. Pretty much essential.
Especially in Australia, right?
That's what I'm reading.
Aussie universities, they're all about research output.
Makes sense.
Publications, contributions to the field, that's what they notice.
So gotta be more than a student.
Gotta be creating knowledge.
Live and breathe research, huh?
You could say that. But hey, pressure can be exciting too.
True enough. Now, the article also mentions a graduate certificate in higher education.
Ah, yes, getting practical.
Learning how to teach.
Engage those students, make the classroom come alive.
Because knowing stuff versus explaining it, 2 different beasts.
Totally. I'm curious, what teaching approaches do they cover?
Yeah, is it all old school lectures or are things changing?
Good question. Aussie unis are actually mixing it up.
Really?
Blended learning, flipped classrooms, even online stuff?
Wow, so lectures need to be adaptable, tech savvy.
Absolutely. And able to connect with all sorts of learners.
Right, different students, different styles.
The certificate dives into, like, active learning, problem-based learning.
So not just standing at a podium lecturing.
No, it's about getting students involved, actively learning.
I like that, which leads to the next step, practical experience.
Exactly. Unis want to see you've actually done it.
Walk the walk.
Teaching assistant roles, tutoring, guest lectures, proof you could handle a classroom.
It's like building a teaching resume.
You could say that. Got to show you can adapt to different learning styles.
And this is where communication skills are key, right?
Oh, hugely. Remember, lecturers aren't just teachers.
Sure.
They're presenting research at conferences, collaborating, engaging with the whole academic community.
Multifaceted role, lots of skills needed.
And building that research portfolio, crucial. It's diving deep into original research, getting published in good journals.
Okay, let's talk about this publish or perish pressure.
I bet that's real, especially in Australia.
What are unis looking for in a research portfolio? Just numbers.
It's more nuanced than that.
Okay, good.
Quantity matters, but quality is key too.
Makes sense.
They look at the impact factor of the journals, citations, overall contribution to the field.
Not just churning out papers.
Exactly. It's about making a real impact, aligning with the uni's goals.
Strategic research. Got it.
Precisely. Which brings us to that, remember, $115 K figure.
Ah, yes, the money talk.
Yeah.
Is that realistic starting salary or more for the veterans?
A bit of both, really.
Okay, how so?
That's the average. But experience matters, big time.
I figured.
Entry level, you're looking at around, 79,970 AUD.
Okay.
But with experience, publications under your belt, could hit 140,000 AUD or more.
Nice. But there's also, research grants.
Ah, you know it. Grants can change the game.
Not just funding research, but actual income too, right?
Absolutely. In Australia, research is king, so grants are essential.
So got to be good at getting those.
They cover research costs, equipment, travel, even part of your salary.
So that 115K average, not the ceiling.
Not at all. It's about being proactive, competitive in the grant world.
Adds another layer to the job, huh?
It does, but rewarding too. Imagine funding a project you're passionate about.
Definitely a highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, what about career advancement? Where can lectureship lead?
Ooh, good question. Promotions? Maybe even head of department, right?
That's the dream. What's the usual path?
It's not always linear, but there's room to grow.
Okay.
Gain experience, build your teaching and research rep, move up to senior lecturer. Then, leadership roles, head of department, dean, even provost.
Wow, the academic ladder. But not easy to climb, I imagine.
You're right, it's competitive.
What makes or breaks someone's career in Australia?
Consistent, high-quality research. That's the big one.
Got to keep publishing.
Top-tier journals, conferences, those competitive grants.
And, of course, tenure.
Ah, tenure. The holy grail.
Job security, but what else?
It's like a stamp of approval from the uni you're in permanently.
Nice.
Job security, yes, but also academic freedom.
Meaning?
More autonomy in your research, your teaching. You can take risks.
That's awesome. But I bet those tenure track jobs are hard to come by.
They are, but hard work, dedication, a bit of planning, it's possible.
Good to know. And for those who want to, like, share knowledge on a bigger scale,
Reading books?
textbooks, scholarly works, that's going to count for something.
Absolutely. Publishing a book in your field boosts your reputation.
Thought leader status.
Shows deep understanding, commitment to spreading knowledge.
But beyond the titles, the achievements, there's more to it, right?
Oh, definitely. It's about shaping young minds, pushing boundaries.
Contributing to your field in a meaningful way.
Exactly. Challenging career, but incredibly fulfilling.
Surrounded by smart people, learning, growing, shaping the future.
But let's be real, it's not all perfect.
Right. What are the downsides, the things people should be ready for?
Workload, for one.
Intense.
Teaching, research, admin tasks, long hours, all of it.
Gotta be organized.
Time management, prioritizing, those skills are crucial.
Not for everyone, that's for sure.
You got to be dedicated, passionate to really thrive.
And adaptable, right?
Yeah.
Academia is always changing.
You said it. New technologies, teaching methods, got to stay up to date.
Continuous learning, always growing.
And don't forget the pressure. Publish, get grants, achieve tenure.
It's a competition.
Rejection happens, got to be resilient.
Good point. Gotta bounce back from setbacks.
But amidst the challenges, the rewards are huge. Intellectual stimulation, mentoring students, seeing your research make an impact.
That's gotta feel good.
These are the things that make academia so rewarding.
Making a difference in the classroom, in the world.
Exactly. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually find these lecturer positions?
Right. Where do you even look? Is there a secret club?
Haha, no secret club. But there are platforms where these jobs are advertised.
Okay.
Websites like, for example, academicjobs.com.
Academicjobs.com. Got it. I bet our listeners are already checking it out.
That's a great resource for Australian lecturer vacancies.
Before we wrap up, want to touch on something we mentioned earlier, bringing your own perspective to academia.
So important. Beyond qualifications, experience, what makes you unique.
What's your passion? What do you want to research, to teach?
That's what sets you apart, makes your journey fulfilling. That passion, it's your fuel, keeps you going through the tough stuff.
The long nights, the rejections, all that.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to let your,
Inner geek shine.
Yeah. What makes you unique? How does that fit into academia?
Love it. Okay, time for a recap. What do we learn about becoming a lecturer in Australia?
Hit me with those key takeaways.
So first, the foundation, bachelor's, then master's, even better, a PhD.
Especially down under, gotta have that research focus.
It's not just the degrees, it's building that research portfolio, publishing in the right places.
Showing you can make a real impact, yeah.
Oh, and that graduate certificate in higher education. Can't forget that.
Honing those teaching skills, learning to engage students in this ever-changing world.
Practical experience, too. Teaching assistant gigs, tutoring, guest lectures.
Gotta get that real-world classroom experience.
And, of course, the money. Average salary around 115,000 AUD, but
experience, uni prestige, those grants, they all play a role.
not just about the money, though, right?
Oh, definitely not. The intellectual stuff, mentoring students, the research freedom, those are the real perks.
The things that make academia so unique.
But, gotta be realistic, there are challenges too.
Lay it on me.
The workload, it's a lot. Competition's fierce, pressure to publish, get funding, it's constant.
Not an easy gig.
But if you've got the passion, the dedication, the resilience,
It can be incredibly rewarding.
absolutely. You're shaking minds, pushing boundaries, leaving your mark on the world.
Now, remember that website we mentioned. For those ready to take the plunge,
Academicjobs.com.
you're a one-stop shop for Australian lecturer jobs.
Start browsing, see what catches your eye, take that first step.
And listener, one last thought before you go. What's your unique perspective?
What are you passionate about? What brilliance will you bring to academia?
Let that guide you on this journey. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be learning from you.
That's what we love to see.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Australian lectureships. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those ambitions high.